How's it going, guys? Dylan's back with an update. A long-awaited update. I don't know why, but I've been putting this off for a while. My usual bullshit, basically. Just making excuse after excuse why I can't do it, but in reality, I should have just done it as soon as it happened. But we got the Beamer done. Transmission is all in. Everything was done decent. It wasn't like professional or anything, but it was done decently. Main thing, I'll show you. I don't know where I left off last. I think the transmission was just in here. Well, you can't really see anything, so I'll get a light quick. So basically where we left off, oh, that looks loose. Yep, that's loose. We'll have to tighten that. Alright, back to it. So, where we left off, I'm pretty sure the transmission was just hanging in here. I didn't have my rear mount yet, and my shifter still needed put together, I think. Or no, I got the shifter in because I at least tested to make sure it went through the gears. I remember that. I think I was just waiting on the drive shaft then and the transmission mount. Yeah, that sounds about right. So we got the drive shaft in. We just welded a conjoiner, I don't know, a coupler. So, well, first we chopped the drive shaft, made it to the size that we needed it to be. I don't remember exactly how long it was. If you need to know, just ask me. I'm sure I can figure it out. If not, I'll get the tape measure out and we'll see exactly. But we cut that to where it needs to be, and then put a sleeve in between it, and then welded on each side, and then put some holes in the sleeve, and then just did a little, I forget what they're called, like a button weld. What I like to call it, at least, a button weld, because it looks like just a little button. But we did that. It's pretty much as solid as it can get. It's a little vibraty, but honestly you can't even hardly tell. It only vibrates really bad at like 60, 65. But other than that, it's really not that bad. It's drivable at least. Definitely going to keep an eye on things though to make sure they're not vibrating loose like that bell housing bolt looks like it probably did. Make sure none of the other ones did, because that's definitely not something you want to happen. Whole transmission comes loose from the engine, that'd be great going down the road. But yeah, we got the cross member made. I just have a bushing over there to basically just drop it down so it's level, just so I could use this flat bar that I had. We just cut out a section from the underneath so it could clearance, and welded in the bottom of it so it would be nice and sturdy. We got it bolted in. I don't know if you can see. There we go. So we got it bolted in here, and then we welded this extra tab bracket on, and we have it bolted in there too, so it should be pretty much as sturdy as you can get. There is still bushings on each side going down to it, so it should be dampened enough. But other than that, everything's good. Until I was driving home from work the one day, and I was starting to get a little carried away with it, I'll give you that. I was starting to rip around a lot more than I should. My clutch still has to break in a decent bit. I only have it like halfway so far. But probably can't see from in here. Oh, maybe you can. We broke our shifter mount. The shifter bow, where we had it pretty much just bolted together and JB welded. It didn't last. I don't think I put enough JB weld on it, and the brackets were really thin metal, so can't really blame it there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that out, get some thicker metal to bolt it back together, and just glob JB weld on it. And if that doesn't work, I guess I'm gonna have to try and find me an M3 one, because they supposedly fit, but I'll have to double check on that. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing today. I'll try to keep you updated. Other than that, transmission's been running great, working great, shifts through all the gears good, and I couldn't be happier with how it's been driving. But stupid things like that, I should have expected that would have happened. I mean, the bell housing bolt, yeah, they probably weren't that tight. Tight enough, but I guess not. So I'm gonna get back to that and catch up to you in a little bit. Alright, so I finally got this thing out. It was a little bastard to get out, but I got it out without dropping the drive shaft. Luckily, I wouldn't have been able to do it if I didn't have this, I don't even know what you call it, like an adapter. Just like a mounting bracket, I guess. But yeah, if I didn't have this, I wouldn't have been able to do it, because I just took the two bolts off. They were pretty easily accessible. They're just 210 mils, so it's not anything too strong. Nothing too tight. Easy to get out, that was for sure. And otherwise, if it was the other transmission, I would have had to get the C-clip out that I put on it, because I took the bitch clip off because I didn't have the right one. I didn't feel like buying one, so I just made that work. But yeah, now I just need to, oh yeah, and to get this out, that was a real pain, because I didn't even take the drive shaft out, and I thought you could just pull it right off, but now they have it flared out pretty far, and that's some pretty strong poly, so there ain't no way that would fucking pull through. So I had to get like a universal bit with one of those universal extensions, I guess. I don't know what you call it, but one of those things, and another extension, and then I just worked the nut off like 1/8 inch at a time. Finally got it out, and then dropped it off, dropped it out. Looks like I need to tighten these up. I need to figure out why this goes up and down like that. I'm assuming it might have something to do with this screw, but that's really annoying when you're driving. I'm not sure if that's like a way to tighten it, or if that's just a different height adjustment you can do. But yeah, I gotta figure something out for that, because that's annoying. First and foremost, I need to get this sorted out. So you can see, these are really like thin, chintzy metal. Probably aluminum or something, I don't even know what it is. That's what I did. I just broke it off. JB Weld definitely didn't hold that long. Oops. But yeah, I'm just gonna have to take these out now and make some new brackets, probably a little bit thicker. Like, it doesn't matter if these bolts stick out or anything, they're not protruding in any way, shape, or form. But that's what I'm going to be doing now. I'll catch back up to you in a minute. So here's what I came up with. All I did was pretty much find a piece of tubing. Well, I was going to try my original method. Let's start there. And I was just going to put them in between, drill holes in them, but there's just not enough material there to drill a hole and keep it fully structural. As you can see on this one, it's like impossible to get it like perfectly straight like that one. It worked, but the other two just ran off. So thought about it for a little bit, and this was the next best thing I could come up with. I just got some square tubing that I had laying around. It just happened to be the exact same inner diameter as the, I don't know, the width of this shifter arm, and pretty much just ground down the edges a little bit so it slid in perfect, and then drilled 2 holes through it, put 2 nuts in it. Now it's solid again. shouldn't break anymore. I don't think there's anything that would break. I mean, worst case scenario, the nuts would probably rattle loose, but I put Loctite on them, so I don't think that'll happen. So I did put some JB weld on it just to help try and secure it a little bit better on the inside, because it still does have the joint that connects. It's hard to do. The joint that connects, and I just JB welded that so that way it doesn't try to like shift up and down, which it is doing that hard right now, so I'm not going to do it because I'm trying to let that JB dry. So now pretty much just wait for that to dry, and then that'll pretty much be it. Just put it back in, we'll be good to go again. Pretty easy, not too hard. Just put them bolts in and put that nut on, put your shifter arm on. That's pretty much it. Hell yeah.